Well, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Jay, and I am coming to you from the Vicarage, and we are here today to do our Monday Digging Deeper devotional. And we've been in Acts chapter 8 and Acts chapter 9 these last several weeks. Carrie Hackett just preached a great sermon yesterday from Acts chapter 9, verses 1 through 19, and I encourage you to go watch that online at our Facebook page, Cornerstone Winchendon. But we have been sort of digging deeper into the ideas of Acts chapter 8 and Acts chapter 9, and taking a very personalized sideline here from two prophetic words that came to us, and how the scripture bears them out. And so in Acts chapter 8 and Acts chapter 9, we have the story of Saul of Tarsus. Acts chapter 8, of course, is the story of the persecution which he sort of launched, and how that caused an increase in the evangelism of the church. And we talked about how that very act began to increase and enlarge the church, and because of that, Paul stepped up his persecution in Acts chapter 9, and actually the journey continued on as Saul of Tarsus, Paul the Apostle, eventually met God. And so in the midst of this story, we have these words that come to us personally as a church from several different sources. The first one, with the one we're dealing with right now, comes from our Jesus 45 meeting, and the second one came from a friend of Cornerstone who had received the word over the same period of time these other words came, and felt it was for Cornerstone, and my heart resonated with it. But the word that we're dealing with right now is, "Be still. I am doing a new thing, a new move. I bring a new name, a new reputation. I am bestowing a new level of influence within the state." Now, we've talked about be still, and we've also talked about the new name and the new reputation. Today I want to begin talking about a new thing and a new move. The scripture lays out this idea of newness throughout its course. And God talks about doing a new thing throughout Scripture. And here's what I want to say about the new thing. The new thing is not a denial or a denigration or a looking down on the old thing. The new thing is always the next step in the journey. It's important to remember that our Christian life is to be looked at not as a philosophy, but as a relationship. Carrie preached yesterday, moving from religion to relationship. And in all of our lives, we have to move our Christianity from this place of ritual, religion, routine, to relationship. And one of the things that helps me is to view my Christianity as a journey. And journeys require forward movement. And as we talk about the new thing that God is doing in our church, it's not the idea that the old thing is bad. It's just that we're on a journey. And if we're going to move forward in the journey, then we have to let go of the old thing and move into the new thing, or the new place. Isaiah 43 starts us out this morning by saying this: "Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." Isaiah goes so far as to say, forget about the old things. Not because the old things were bad, necessarily, but because the new thing requires our attention. This move of God that we are currently in requires our full attention. We are in a time of deepening prayer. We now need to give our time to prayer. We are in a time of deepening evangelism, and we need to give our time to figuring out how are we going to build the relationships that we need in order to evangelize the people God is sending us to. We are in a time of doing life together. We need to spend our time doing life together. We can't continue to hold on to the way we used to do our Christianity 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's not that those things weren't valid or weren't important. They were a step in the journey. But God is taking us to a new step. And we'll look at this later on, but Jesus said, new wine needs to be put in new wineskins. And so we need to begin to put our attention into the new wineskins. We need to pay attention to how God is doing things right now. It's not right or wrong, it's a method. And for this moment, God has put his finger on this thing, doing life together, reaching the lost, sending the found. We haven't talked enough about sending the found because that is a new thing. You see, as a church, we've relied for a long time upon sort of a professional ministry. And while I do believe in a professional ministry, I believe that it is the church, the members of the church, the laity that is supposed to activate to do the ministry works of the church. We are sending the found. If the found don't go, if you as a member of the lay church, that means the non-professional minister church, don't go and win the lost, then the lost aren't going to be won. Because according to Ephesians 4, we exist, the pastors, the prophets, the apostles, the evangelists, the teachers, we exist to equip the laity, the rank and file, the members of the church, with the ability to go and fulfill the work of ministry. And so this is sort of a new thing. While doing life together, we will reach the lost by sending the found. We will discover our gifts and change the world. This is what we've got to focus on now, and God has his hand on it. All right, that's what I have for you today. Until we meet again, God bless you and be at peace.